Most men will never hear this, and even fewer will understand it. You have been lied to your entire life. They told you comfort is the goal, that happiness is your purpose, that you should be soft, open, and weak. And now, look around you. Look at the men who believed that lie. They are broke, depressed, and powerless. They are trapped in miserable relationships, financially dependent, physically out of shape, and mentally fragile. They are waiting for a miracle that will never come. This message is not for everyone. Only real men will listen to the end. Only men who refuse to be weak will absorb every word. If you are that man, comment "discipline over emotions" below, because by the time you finish this, you will never see life the same way again. Number 1. Why most people fail at life. Weak men blame everything except themselves. They blame women, society, their childhood, the economy, everything but their own actions. This is why they stay stuck. They avoid responsibility because taking it means admitting that every single thing in their life is a result of their choices. And that truth is too painful for the average man to face. Look around. What do you see? Men who are broke, out of shape, weak, addicted, lonely, desperate. They chase validation on social media. They scroll endlessly, liking pictures of women who don't even know they exist, consuming garbage content that does nothing but steal their time and energy. Then they wonder why life keeps beating them down. Life is hard, and most men have already surrendered. They wake up exhausted from scrolling at night. They complain about money but refuse to learn a skill. They whine about women but have no discipline, no ambition, no presence. They dream of success but can't even control their own thoughts. Men used to be warriors, kings, conquerors, leaders. Today, they are emotional, needy, soft, and distracted. They fold under pressure. They seek comfort in everything they do. They complain about life being unfair instead of dominating it. And relationships? A complete disaster. Men get ghosted, cheated on, and treated like an option because they allow it. They chase women who don't respect them. They tolerate disrespect. They beg for attention like a starving dog. What happened to you? A man who is truly disciplined? He walks away the moment he feels disrespected. He doesn't beg. He doesn't whine. He builds himself so high that women chase him instead. Success doesn't happen to the lucky. It happens to the disciplined. The ones who wake up every single day and do what needs to be done. The ones who understand that nobody is coming to save them. You think you have time. You don't. You think things will change on their own. They won't. Every single day that you waste is another day you will regret. You either man up now or you die with nothing but excuses. There are two types of men in this world, the ones who build and the ones who watch, the winners and the losers, the disciplined and the weak. Which one are you? Number 2. Emotions are your biggest enemy. Weak men let their emotions control them. They react, they get triggered. They let anger, sadness, and fear dictate their decisions. And this is why they lose. You see it all the time. Men throw tantrums over a woman leaving them, cry about unfair treatment at work, and quit the gym because it feels hard. The moment they feel discomfort, they crumble. Successful men. They feel the same emotions, but they do not act on them. They do not let anger make them reckless. They do not let sadness make them weak. They do not let fear stop them from moving forward. Look at breakups. A weak man gets dumped and he begs, he texts, he calls, he spirals into depression. He lets one woman ruin his entire existence. She disrespected him, and instead of walking away with his dignity intact, he grovels like a child for another chance. A strong man. He lets her go immediately. No calls, no texts, No emotional outbursts, just silence and self-improvement. He turns his pain into power. He uses rejection as fuel. He becomes better, stronger, more disciplined. And when she comes back, he doesn't even look her way. Weak men react. Strong men control. Think about the last time your emotions dictated your actions. It cost you, didn't it? You said something stupid in anger. You made a bad decision out of desperation. You let fear stop you from taking a risk that could have changed your life. How many times are you going to let this happen before you wake up? Discipline means mastering yourself first. If you cannot control your emotions, you are a child in a man's body. A man who cannot control himself will always be controlled by others. Every second that you let your emotions take over, you lose power. Your boss manipulates you, women manipulate you, society manipulates you, because they know you have no control. You get angry, they use it against you. You get sad, they make you weaker. You get desperate, they take advantage of you. A truly powerful man, nobody can shake him. He gets cheated on, he moves on without a second thought. He gets fired, he uses it as motivation to build his own empire. He gets rejected, he levels up so high that she regrets it for life. Number 3, pain equals power. Pain is the greatest teacher in the world. The difference between winners and losers is how they deal with pain. Losers run from it. They numb it with video games, alcohol, corn, junk food, or scrolling through endless distractions. They try to escape reality instead of facing it head-on. And that is why they never grow. Pain is not your enemy. Weak men fear pain because they have been conditioned to avoid suffering at all costs. They think life is supposed to be comfortable, easy, and smooth. It's not. Life is a war, and war is fought through struggle, hardship, and sacrifice. Your pain is trying to teach you something. When your woman leaves you, it's teaching you that you weren't strong enough. When you're broke, it's teaching you that your habits are failing you. When you're fat, it's teaching you that your discipline is non-existent. Pain is showing you where you are weak, so you can become stronger. The modern man avoids pain and chooses comfort. He wakes up, scrolls his phone, eats processed food, sits in a chair for 8 hours, and then numbs himself with entertainment. He avoids anything that challenges him. He avoids rejection, so he never talks to women. He avoids discomfort, so he never goes to the gym. He avoids failure, so he never starts that business. He chooses ease, and in doing so, he chooses weakness. A man who embraces pain, that is a dangerous man, because he understands something that the weak never will. Pain is the key to everything you want in life. Look at the gym. Every rep you push, every weight you lift, every time you force your body through exhaustion, you are literally breaking your muscles so they can grow back stronger. Growth requires destruction first. Look at success. Every rich man you see has suffered first. They've been broke, humiliated, rejected, and counted out, but they didn't quit. They used their failures as motivation. They turned pain into fuel. The biggest heartbreak of your life? You have 2 choices. Become weak, depressed, and bitter, or become unstoppable. When she left, did you cry like a little boy, stalking her socials, obsessing over what she's doing? Or did you use that rage, that frustration, that deep betrayal, and turn yourself into something she could never have imagined? The most powerful men in history were forged in pain and hardship. The strongest men alive have been through hell and back. That's why nothing phases them. They have suffered more than anyone else, and because of that, they are untouchable. Your pain is a gift. It is your opportunity to transform yourself into a man who can never be broken. But you have to face it head on. No more escaping. No more numbing yourself. No more distractions. Face your pain and let it turn you into something unstoppable. Number 4, 99% will never do this. Most men will never change. They will hear the truth, nod their heads, get fired up for a few minutes, and then go back to the same weak habits. They will watch this, get inspired, and then do nothing. They'll think, yeah, I need to change, and then go right back to scrolling, consuming, and wasting time. And that is exactly why they will never be successful. They lie to themselves. They tell themselves they'll start next week. They tell themselves they just need a little more motivation. They wait and wait and wait. And before they know it, years have passed, and they are still in the same place. Weak men wait for change. Strong men force change. If you knew that today was your last day on earth, would you waste it watching garbage? Would you waste it chasing women who don't respect you? Would you waste it making excuses for why your life isn't the way you want it to be? The difference between a man who wins and a man who loses is not intelligence, not luck, not talent. It's discipline. Winners move immediately. They don't hesitate. They don't overthink. They don't make excuses. They act. You already know what you need to do. You've always known. But knowing means nothing without action. Every day that you waste, someone else is getting stronger than you. Every time you hit snooze, someone else is up grinding. Every time you make an excuse, someone else is taking what you want. And that's why 99% of men stay weak, average, and forgotten. They do what's easy, and because of that, they live hard lives. The 1% do what's hard, and because of that, their lives are easy. Most men talk about success. Few do what it takes. Most men complain about being broke. Few learn how to make money. Most men cry about relationships. Few become men worth respecting. Are you going to be the man who talks or the man who acts? This is your moment. If you keep waiting, you will wake up one day full of regret. Regret that you didn't take control. Regret that you let fear stop you. Regret that you didn't become the man you were meant to be. And once that regret sets in, it will eat you alive. Number 5. You're not special. Discipline wins. Most men think they're special. They think their problems are unique. They believe that their pain is different, that their situation is harder, that their excuses are somehow valid. They believe the world should make exceptions for them. It won't. Nobody cares about your story. Nobody cares about your struggles. The world does not reward victims. It rewards winners, and the only way to win is through discipline. It does not matter how talented you are. It does not matter how smart you think you are. If you lack discipline, you will lose to a dumber, less talented man who works harder than you. Every single successful man you see today, he worked for it. You think the billionaires got lucky. You think the world champions woke up strong. You think the guys who have women chasing them were just born attractive. They earned it. Every single day they made the right choices while weak men made excuses. Every rich man started broke. Every strong man started weak. Every respected man was once ignored. But they built themselves up while the lazy, weak, undisciplined men sat around complaining. Every day that you waste, someone else is outworking you. Someone else is waking up at 5 a.m. while you hit snooze. Someone else is in the gym while you binge-watch Netflix. Someone else is improving their skills while you scroll through your phone. And one day, you will meet that man. And when you do, you will realize that he is living the life you always wanted, but never worked for. Discipline is not optional. It is the price of success. If you want money, respect, power, influence, success, or even women, you must outwork every man around you. There is no shortcut, no hack, no easy way, just raw, relentless discipline. If you do not have discipline, you will forever be the man who almost made it, the man who had potential but wasted it, the man who could have been great but was too lazy to do what it takes. Your talent means nothing. Your ideas mean nothing. Your dreams mean nothing. Discipline is everything. Number 6. Silence equals strength. Weak men talk. Strong men move in silence. You've seen it before. A guy who brags about his goals, flexes his plans, tells everyone how successful he's going to be. And then, nothing happens. Real men? They don't talk about their moves, they just make them. The moment you announce your plans, you lose power. You invite jealousy. You give people a chance to sabotage you. You waste energy proving yourself to people who don't even matter. A weak man posts about how much he grinds. A strong man grinds in silence, then lets his success speak for him. You ever notice how the loudest men are always the weakest? The guys who brag about how much money they make, how many women they have, how successful they are. They need to convince you because deep down, they're insecure. A high-value man doesn't need to prove anything. He knows what he's worth. He doesn't need external validation. His results speak louder than his words ever could. You want to be respected? Speak less, move more. You want to be feared? Keep people guessing. You want real power? Become unpredictable. Look at the most powerful men in history. They never revealed their next move. They never warned their enemies. They never explained themselves. They just took action. You need to learn the power of mystery. The more people know about you, the weaker you are. The more you reveal, the more people can use against you. Weak men over-explain. Strong men say nothing. You don't need to tell her you're working on yourself. Just disappear, improve, and return as a man she doesn't even recognize. You don't need to announce that you're grinding. Just show up one day, undeniably successful. You don't need to tell anyone your goals. Just execute them while they're busy talking about theirs. Your silence will do more damage than your words ever could. Stop explaining yourself. Stop proving yourself. Stop seeking validation from people who are beneath you. Be silent. Be disciplined. And when the time is right, let your success speak for you. Number 7. Sacrifice now, dominate later. Everything you want comes with a price. There is no escaping it. You either pay the price now in sweat, discipline, and sacrifice, or you pay it later in regret, failure, and disappointment. Most men are too short-sighted to understand this. They want success without effort. They want wealth without work. They want respect without earning it. And that is why they stay weak, average, and forgotten. A weak man wastes years chasing pleasure. He spends his 20s drinking, partying, chasing women, smoking, scrolling, and doing everything except building himself. Then he wakes up at 35, broke, overweight, stuck in a dead-end job with nothing to show for his life, and by then, it's too late. The strong man does the opposite. He sacrifices now. He grinds in his 20s, builds his body, stacks his money, develops his mind, and levels up while everyone else is wasting time. And by the time he's 35, he is untouchable. He has the wealth, the power, the respect, the discipline, and the freedom that the weak man can only dream about. Most men don't get this. They think that discipline is suffering. It's not. The real suffering is waking up 10 years from now, realizing you wasted your life. Think about it. You can either spend your nights drinking with losers, chasing women who don't respect you, and wasting time on pointless distractions. Or you can spend your nights learning new skills, hitting the gym, making money, and setting yourself up for a life of dominance. You can either waste your weekends sleeping in, scrolling social media, and complaining about your situation. Or you can wake up early, push yourself harder, and turn your potential into reality. Every decision you make is moving you closer to power or deeper into weakness. Sacrifice comfort today so you can live a life most men will never experience. Sacrifice cheap pleasures now, so you can enjoy the rewards that only disciplined men earn. Sacrifice distractions today so you can wake up in a position where the world respects you. Weak men don't sacrifice. That's why they stay weak. Strong men delay gratification and dominate. So ask yourself, are you willing to sacrifice your bad habits, your lazy lifestyle, and your excuses? Are you willing to suffer now so you never have to suffer later? Are you willing to do what weak men refuse to do? Because if the answer is no, then you don't deserve success. There is no escaping sacrifice. You either suffer now for a few years or suffer forever. Number 8, control what you can. Ignore the rest. Most men waste their lives crying over things they cannot change. They complain about women, the economy, their upbringing, their genetics, the government, everything except themselves. And this is why they stay stuck. A real man does not waste a single second focusing on things outside his control. He doesn't complain. He doesn't cry. He doesn't sit around feeling sorry for himself. He puts 100% of his energy into the things he can control. And because of that, he wins. Weak men blame women. Strong men build themselves into men that women chase. Weak men blame the system. Strong men learn the rules and use them to their advantage. Weak men complain about their circumstances. Strong men change their circumstances by changing their actions. You can sit here all day talking about how women are manipulative, how modern dating is broken, how the economy is unfair, how life is hard, and maybe you're right. But what does that do for you? Nothing. It just makes you more bitter, more resentful, and more powerless. Or you can accept reality, adapt, and dominate. The moment you realize that the only thing you can control is yourself, everything changes. You don't control women, but you control whether you chase them or build yourself into a man they chase. You don't control the economy, but you control whether you develop high-income skills or stay broke. You don't control what happens to you, but you control how you respond. You have no excuses. You are in full control of your future, whether you want to admit it or not. There are only 2 types of men in this world. 1. Men who control their own destiny, take responsibility for everything, and build the life they want. 2. Men who waste their lives crying about things they can't control, making excuses and staying weak. Which one are you? Every single second that you waste focusing on things outside of your control is a second you could have spent building power, wealth, discipline, and respect. So let the weak complain, let the losers cry, let the average man waste his time. You focus on what you can control. You build, you move forward, you take power. Because in the end, the only man who wins is the man who takes full control of his life. Number 9. You are your habits. Look at your life right now. Everything you have or don't have is because of the habits you repeat every single day. Your body, your bank account, your mindset, your relationships, your success. All of it is a reflection of your daily habits. Weak men don't understand this. They think that one day they'll suddenly get rich, get in shape, or get respect. They think they can keep living the same lazy, undisciplined life and somehow wake up successful. That day will never come. Your habits are who you are. They are the small, daily decisions that are either building you up or destroying you. Look at your habits right now. Do you wake up and check your phone first thing? You've trained yourself to be distracted before the day even begins. Do you skip the gym because you don't feel like it? You've trained yourself to be weak and undisciplined. Do you waste time watching Netflix, playing video games, scrolling endlessly? You've trained yourself to be a consumer instead of a creator. Do you chase women who don't respect you? You've trained yourself to be desperate and needy. And the worst part, you don't even realize it. You think it's just one day, just one skipped workout, just one night wasted scrolling, just one day of laziness. But one day turns into a week turns into a month turns into a year, and before you know it, your life is gone and you have nothing to show for it. Successful men have one thing in common: they master their habits. They don't wake up and check their phone. They wake up and dominate the day. They don't skip workouts. They train even when they don't feel like it. They don't waste time. They invest every second into building something greater. Every action you take is a vote for the man you are becoming. What kind of man are you voting for? You either have habits that are turning you into a powerful, disciplined, unstoppable man, or you have habits that are making you weaker, softer, and more miserable every day. There is no in-between. Change your habits and you change your entire future. Number 10. Act now or stay weak. If you're still here, it means you felt something deep inside you while listening to this. Maybe it was anger, maybe it was regret, maybe it was a realization that you have been wasting your life. Good. That means you're still alive. That means you can still change. But here's the problem. 99% of men will ignore this message and do nothing. They will get fired up for 5 minutes, and then they will go right back to their weak habits. That is why most men fail. That is why most men never reach their potential. That is why most men live and die as nobodies. They know what they need to do, but they never take action. Every single second you wait, you are falling further behind. Every excuse you make, someone else is outworking you. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," you are choosing to stay weak. There is no later, there is no someday, there is only now. You either change today or you never will. Every single great man made a decision to change, to stop making excuses, to stop waiting, to commit fully. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for the perfect time. They didn't wait for someone to save them. They just acted. So here's the reality. If you leave this video and do nothing, you have already lost. If you keep scrolling, keep making excuses, keep avoiding discipline, you will wake up 10 years from now full of regret. Or you can decide right now that you will never be the same again, that from this moment forward you are done being weak. This is your turning point. This is the moment where you either change everything or stay the same. You've heard every word, you've felt every truth, you've realized deep down that the life you are living right now is not the life you were meant for. You were meant for more. You were meant to be powerful, disciplined, respected. But that version of you, he will never exist if you don't take action. Most men will walk away from this message and do nothing. They will feel motivated for 5 minutes and then go back to scrolling, wasting time, and being weak. They will convince themselves that they'll start tomorrow, that they'll change later. They won't. That's why they lose. That's why they stay broke. That's why they get walked all over. That's why nobody respects them. The world belongs to the men who act. You want success? Act. You want respect? Act. You want freedom? Act. Right now. Because if you don't, you already know what will happen. You will wake up 1 year from now in the exact same place, feeling the same regrets. And at that point, it will be too late. You are standing at a fork in the road. One path leads to weakness, failure, and regret. The other path leads to power, success, and freedom. You can talk about changing, or you can actually do it. If this video woke something up inside you, subscribe to the channel. Not for me, for you. Because every time you watch content like this, you are reprogramming your mind for discipline and success. And every time you like, comment, and subscribe, YouTube pushes this message to more men who need to hear it. More men who are lost. More men who need to wake up. More men who need to reclaim their power. We are building an army of men who refuse to be weak. Comment, "I choose discipline," if you're ready to stop making excuses. This is it. Your moment, your choice, your future.